Good morning and welcome to your early morning intuitive guidance. Not very early this morning. So weekends now are for sleeping in apparently. And then I ran into all kinds of computer problems. Or my phone wouldn't let me pick the Dr. Bonnie page. Good morning, Diane. And so I thought, well, no problem. I'll just switch to the computer. The computer wouldn't boot up. So I had to do a hard restart on that, and then it's now cleaning. So it took a while to get to you guys. Glad I made it. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, America's kick-ass coach and psychologist with some wisdom to start your day. Of course, by now your day's maybe half over. Who knows? So this is a card we've seen before, and I have no idea what's going to come out of my mouth today because there wasn't really any prep time. I was too busy rebooting equipment. So here we go. Let's see what we get. So, and I see someone else is here, but it's not showing me who. So welcome, welcome. Card is Wisdom. Wisdom. That's the one that I thought looked like a spinal cord, but it's actually an angel flying with a list. So, all about perception, right? Okay, Wisdom. Card meaning. The cup of wisdom is being presented to you. Listen to the coincidences, signs, and synchronicities around you. Watch for messages from your angels and guides. Good morning, Cindy. Welcome. Enlightenment is growing within you in mysterious ways beyond your awareness. There's some interesting things going on that I am aware of, too. Hopefully you are, too. Good morning, Lisa. Welcome. Sit on the earth and allow her wisdom to fill you. The only thing is it's pouring here, so that it'd be kind of like choosing to have a shower, a nature shower. Not a bad thing. I think it's 45 degrees. That'd be a little chilly, but your soul wants you to know your wisdom has not only come from your joyous, carefree times, it also bloomed from your failures, deflated dreams, and seemingly wrong turns in life. And the word that jumps off the page at me there is seemingly. There are no wrong turns. Cherish every experience, for all of it has deepened your wisdom, compassion, and understanding. Also, know that there is an innate wisdom within you, always. It's simply a matter of being still and turning within in order to access it. Haven't we all been working on that, a la COVID? Sometimes you may be so focused on the future or what's outside of you that you forget that wisdom is available to you now. The affirmation is, all I truly need is within me. All I truly need is within me. And I do see people making a change there in terms of moving away from such rampant consumerism. I got to have the newest this, the latest that, blah, blah, blah. I see people more willing to just be with what they have and parting with a lot of what they have. Good morning, Janice. Welcome from Florida. I hope it's nice and warm there. We are at 45 and rainy. So all that snow that I posted the pictures of the other day, gone. So I'm sure the hunters are a little less happy today, but the Bambis might be a little happier. So wisdom. And I want to suggest to you that there are so many ways to be wise that we as human beings don't even measure. Okay? So think about that. There's the wisdom that people have about intellectual knowledge. There's the wisdom that people have about human beings and how they operate. There's the wisdom people have about spirituality. There's all different kinds of wisdom that we don't think about, much less try to measure in any way. Not saying that we have to measure everything, but some people really like doing that. So for you today, wisdom. I'd like you to just close your eyes. Nice deep belly breath. And as you're breathing, I want you to focus on the area right between your eyebrows. Your third eye. I want you to see it spinning open. And you bring in your other senses. You might want to hear it like a little motor humming. You might want to hear it like a little whir sound, whatever it's going to sound like. That area right between your eyebrows, just breathing into that. that wisdom center that we all have. And let's think about the kinds of wisdom that are stored there, that are accessible through that portal. There's again all the wisdom of history, our human history. There's all the wisdom that's nature wisdom, that's from much longer ago than human history. There's the wisdom of the universe. There's spiritual wisdom. God, universe, creator, however you want to look at that. There's the wisdom that was talked about in that reading I did the other day, that I've been listening to every single day because I want to get my human self wrapped around that idea that we are adventurers, a la Mike Dooley. We are adventurers who knew everything, created everything, and then lost sight of that fact. Wisdom. Just breathing that in. Breathing that open, turning that loose, creating big space for that wisdom to be. Breathing and enjoying wisdom. What do you wish you were wiser about? Breathe into an intention that that wisdom comes to you in a kind and gentle way. Because remember, wisdom comes to us through our difficulties also. Sometimes that ain't so fun. So we can request a kinder, gentler way of gaining more wisdom into that area of our life that we'd like to be wiser about. I will say that one of the things that I feel has opened up for me in terms of wisdom is that sense of everything's okay in the divine perspective. Even when, again, it looks like a royal shit show here on earth, there's a higher wisdom operating. And when we have faith and trust in that wisdom, it removes barriers to that wisdom operating. Expansive consciousness dissolves obstacles. I still love that. Still have it sitting right here on my desk. That's what I'm aiming for, is more and more expansive consciousness. Being able to see a bigger picture. Being able to step out of dualism, dichotomies, black, white, yes, no, the good, the bad. All of that does not serve us at this point in time. Again, we are one. We are one. We may take issue with some of those who are a part of that one, but we are still one. We are still one. And everybody has their purpose. Everybody has their purpose. And there are those whose purpose is to come and stir things up. Stir things up, show us things we may not have preferred to look at. We like to go along blithely like we are all that in a bag of chips and just fine. And we are that. But sometimes we need a little to look at our behavior and say, yeah, that's not so hot. That's not so hot. I probably need to change that within myself. And when we see something in someone else that we don't like, turn your eyeballs around, because there's some aspect of that in you. All the people who are railing and being hateful about Donald Trump, look for the reflection in yourself. If there's something you hate in him, there's going to be a piece of it in you. All right? Clean in front of your own front door first. Thank you, AA. We need to clean up our own act. That's what we have control over, cleaning up our own act. If we're sitting in judgment, if we're feeling hateful, if we're sending around all those little memes that take pot shots, if we're adding to the fray, we might want to take a look at that. Let's step back. Let's step back into curious observer. Let's keep that wisdom center open and go about doing the things we want to do, the things that are important to do, the things that matter to us. So for instance, one of the things that I could be really pissed off, I'll just pick one, Enbridge, and their pipeline that runs through Upper Michigan that has very little benefit, in my opinion, to Upper Michigan, but puts us at great risk. Not just the tunnel, not just the pipeline under the Straits of Mackinac that they wanted to put a tunnel around, but all the little tributaries and land that it crosses across the whole UP. Not my gig, right? So I could be pissed off and rail against Enbridge and blah, 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 or I could be contacting my legislators, which I did, sending letters, sending emails, sending texts, all that stuff, indicating that I'm one of the people who isn't keen on the idea of a tunnel and the amount of 5 million gallons of wastewater that would be dumped into the Great Lakes in creating that tunnel per day. So we just had a victory. Permits were revoked. They have to be, the governor revoked the permits, and they have to be done operating in short order here. Sticking with what do we want, staying focused on the outcome we were looking for helped create it. Rather than wasting our time on, are they that dumb? Can't they see? They don't care about people, blah, blah, blah. All that wasted energy. Taking that energy and directing it toward the outcome we desired. Okay? So that's just one. What about for you? Again, wisdom would guide you to focus on what it is you do want. If you can't figure that out, let's start with what you don't want. I can't stand X. What's X? All right. Now look at what's the opposite of X, or what would it be like if X wasn't occurring? What would life be like? Focus your attention on that. Feed your energy support into that. And I know we've talked about this before, but sometimes we need the reminder. And I think right now we need the reminder because the us versus them machine is really running amok. There are people who are being wise right now and taking a hiatus from the news and from social media, etc. I totally get that. We want to be able to keep it here so we can see it, not have it smashed up against our face where we can't see it, but we certainly can react to it, right? And the manipulation that goes on, just even through, think about the algorithms, just even through those algorithms, tweak, I'm going to send you this content and this content and this content, either to provoke you or because that's the kind of content you're saying you want to look at. And what that means is each of us is seeing a different slice of the reality as a whole. Not that easy to make good decisions when you can't see the whole picture, right? So again, going back to wisdom, breathing in here, quieting yourself, taking time. I love my mornings. Mornings are my time to sit and be, to make my cacao and drink it. If those of you who are interested, we do have a cacao ceremony, a moon ceremony coming up soon, and you can find it in the events. But it's an opportunity, again, to quiet yourself, be present, be in community with others who are pursuing the same things. It's just a lovely, lovely experience. So what are you going to do for yourself today to give this space, to open up for wisdom, creativity, flow, the big picture, divine guidance to come through? What will you do today? I'm going to take some time to journal. I'm certainly going to have my cacao. I do a meditation every day, which I will do right after I talk to you guys. What will you do? So, card today is wisdom. I hope it kind of got a few gears turning and thoughts coming through, and let's see what you can come up with. Feel free to stick a note in the feed or private message me, whatever you want to do. Have an awesome Sunday, and we'll see you again tomorrow on Monday. Remember, you are capable of far more than you think you are.